Okay, first and foremost, you'll notice I'm actually making a video. Yeah, the police job I'm off all week, and the overnight job am off on Tuesday, Wednesday anyway. So I'm actually gonna make a video. Now update, peace through strength. I got that ironically on my grandmother's birthday. She would have been 108, but I got that, and that night Ukraine was invaded. And every hour on the hour, the news was saying peace through strength. That they picked the best time of war. Now, I want to mention a few things about the ghost gun ban. Now, first and foremost, by definition, a human being had the right to make their own gun since colonial days. The problem is, what is your skill level, what type of gun you're making, and what technology is available to you. But by definition, since the colonial times, you could make your own gun. Now, if you do make your own gun, by definition, you must still follow all federal and state guidelines. Example, convicted felons, domestic abusers, okay, people with outstanding warrants, people that have resisted from justice, okay, the whole concoction of banned people still applies. Now, by definition, if you make your own gun, you're not going to an FFL per se, but if you're caught, you can face penalties. Okay, making your own gun, you're still in possession of a gun. And you still must follow certain laws. Now, making your own gun is not as simple as you think it is. Example, the two guns that we're thinking about are the Polymer 80, which is kind of like a Glock. Now, the funny part is the original Glock name was P80. You had P08, which is the Luger, P38, which was the Nazi gun. So Germany would say P and the year. Pistol 80. Handgun made in 1980. So the Glock 17 was originally called the P80. And the Polymer 80 is kind of sort of like a play on that. P means polymer and 80 means 80% frame. So it's, yeah, kind of like an homage to that, if you will. Now, 80% means the frame, whether it's the AR or the Glock. That's all that I know about now. Maybe there's others out there. But for right now, we're going to say AR and Glock. You get the frame, which is 80% complete. So technically, by definition, it's a legal skirt. It's not a firearm yet. When you get it in the mail, and yes, you can get it in the mail, you get the template kits for it, and you are still required to produce for the AR. You need your own drill press, and a good drill press is going to be what, $500 at least, with your own drill bits. And for the Glock, I think you use a Dremel tool, and there's a jig you follow. You put in like this locking jig, and you, okay. So by definition, you cut out or shape the gun, and you put the hole here, hole there, that. Now, to put that into perspective, I've seen video footage of guys on YouTube, wherever the fuck I've seen it, where guys are fucking it up, okay? Because by definition, you are still making a machine. So you still need at least some degree of skill, okay? You can go a little too far down by accident. You can go a little too far out by accident, okay? You need to have at least some degree of skill. And if you fuck it up, you gotta throw it in the garbage or a new one. And they're like, what, $200, I think? Minus the cost of the drill or the Dremel tool or the drill press, drill bits, okay? So it's not exactly that simple. Okay, now once you've done that, you need to order the parts kit. Whether it's an AR or a Glock. You have to go on their website, AR, whatever the hell.com. There's a million different AR companies. and Glock is pretty much Glock. And order the parts kit, which includes trigger, mag release, slide lock, okay, a couple of things. Then you have to go out and buy the magazine. And by definition, depending on what state you live in, you may or may not be able to buy certain magazines, at least legally. Then you have to buy the upper assembly. Now, for the Glock, you buy the upper assembly, the barrel, the front, the slide, the recoil spring. Okay, you can order that all at once. Okay. AR, you gotta have the barrel, the this, the that. You know, there's a million fucking parts to an AR. You know, the rails for this, the scope for that. Okay, the sights for that. Okay, the buttstock for that, the buffer tube for that. Okay, now, if you're building an AR in New York, California, New Jersey, Connecticut, okay, you're required to follow the requirements of, can you give a pistol grip? How about a flash hider? How about a bayonet lug? How about a collapsible buttstock? Okay, you still gotta follow the guidelines because by definition, this 80% receiver is now an AR-15. When you got it in the mail, it was a block of material. Now that you put the drills in and all the bullshit, it's now a gun. By definition, you've converted it from an object to a gun. So now that it is a gun, by definition, you are obligated to have limited magazine capacity or limited features based on your state. And I know you guys in Texas and Arizona and Florida are laughing their asses off right now. Okay, fine. Now, as far as Glocks are concerned, okay, cool. The Glock 80% receiver. My home state, I don't know about your home state, but my home state, you're required to register your handgun. So if you live in Arizona, Texas, Utah, Montana, no one gives a fuck. Okay, if you have a serial number or not. But in my home state, you will be required to laser engrave or have someone do it for you, laser engrave a serial number on it. Then, in my home state, you will be required to send the application, which you have to get at an FFL, to the county. And you literally have to tell the county, I have a new gun. It's called the Polymer 80. It's chambered in 9mm. And the serial number is, Vinny 001. Okay? You can make your own serial number, but by definition, there's got to be a serial number on it. And in my home state rather, the county judge will update your license, and your license has all of your handguns written on the back of the license. So if a cop finds you with a gun, for whatever reason, the cop will say, give me your license. If the cop sees the gun with his eye, you have to give him the license. You have to. Because he sees the gun with his eye. Okay? It's one thing if the cop pulls you over, takes your bag, throws it on the ground, opens it up, and starts rummaging through it. But if the cop sees the gun, it could be on the front seat of your car, you could be getting out of the car with it, you could be getting in the car with it, okay? You could be at the range with it, okay? You could be going to the store and saying, look, I just got this gun here. I need a magazine or I need a new sight to fit on there or whatever, okay? If the cop sees you with the gun anywhere, if his eye sees it, he can look at it. That's the law. Okay, it's called plain view. That means if any cop sees anything with their eye, they're not using binoculars, they're not using infrared lights, okay, they're not seeing through walls, okay, they're not picking up bags and rummaging through them. They see it with their eye, it's in plain view. Okay, now the cop might be like, okay, that's Polymer 80, give me a license. Okay, Polymer 80, 9mm, serial number, okay, you're good to go. Now if you go to the gun range, you pick the gun up, boom, 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 boom. If you have an off-duty state trooper there, and he wants to break your balls a little bit, he can say, let me see your license. He already sees the gun, show him the license. I don't have a license, officer. Well, first of all, my home state, if you got going on a range with a handgun, they're gonna ask for your license. But I don't have a license, officer. Okay, now you're under arrest. because under state law, you can't have a handgun without a license. Probably not constitutional, but it hasn't been decided yet, has it? No, it hasn't. Or the cop might be like, let me see your license. Well, you're an officer, I made this handgun myself and didn't register it. Well, it's a handgun now. Under state law, you have to register all handguns. You made it yourself, it's still a handgun under arrest. That's the state law. Okay, I know what the federal law says about making your own gun. I know the ATF doesn't give a shit as long as they get their extortion fee for a class 3 item. Okay, but by definition, state law applies. I can't change that state law. Do I agree with it? No. Okay, am I gonna get $10 million and go to the Supreme Court tomorrow? No. Okay, that's the truth. By definition, that's the truth. So now, the AR-15. Okay, like I said, the same thing. You don't have to register ARs where I live. I don't know where you live, but you don't need to register ARs. But you still gotta have, this, that, the other things, a special stock in New York that it's called a Thor's in stock. Yeah, okay. Now, if you live in New Jersey and you get the 80% lower for your AR, they're gonna want a FOID, because New Jersey, you gotta have a FOID to get any gun. New York City, the AR is banned by definition. So New York City, that 80% lower receiver, when it becomes the AR, it's banned. Do I like that? Of course not. I don't like that at all, but it's the truth. Now, the former vice president who has dementia, and the former senator who sucks dick for promotions, they had a conference 2 days ago. It's now Wednesday morning. 2 days ago. Now, I saw him at this conference groping a girl. Yeah, I know. It was shocking, right? It was fucking shocked. And I'm saying to myself, I know that girl. Danielle Harris, the horror store. She has a friend, an adult friend close to her age. She's 5 years older than me. And I unfollowed her because of this friend. This friend is a gun control asshole, which is shocking for Danielle Harris because Danielle Harris was stalked and Danielle Harris owns guns. Yes, Danielle Harris owns guns. So you own guns because you're stalked, but your friend is in the Second Amendment. Great. Now this friend is a gun control advocate. And her big thing is what? Banning the Polymer 80. Why? Because her daughter, and that girl in the video with the old faggot, the old fuckhead, that was her daughter. I think her daughter just turned 18. Her daughter, a couple years ago in high school, was the victim of a school shooting. Her best friend, guy friend, was killed, and she was shot. And that is unfortunate. We don't want to see people shot. Okay? Regardless of political beliefs, I don't want to see kids getting shot. The truth. Now, the mother wants the Polymer 80 banned because her daughter was shot with one. Here's the truth. No, she wasn't. The shooting in question, which I did research, was committed by a .45 caliber bullet. Oh, committed by a guy with a .45 caliber gun shooting .45 caliber bullets. Okay, more accurately. But the weapon was a .45 caliber gun. And I've heard it was a 1911. Now, in theory, you could get a block of steel, have a couple of $1,000s worth of CNC machines, and carve out a 1911 frame. In theory, you can do that. But I doubt very much a high school kid has that kind of skill set. And that I'm aware of, there is no 1911 low receiver. I'm not aware of one. If you know of any 1911 80% lower, let me know. Because as it stands right now, I know of two 80% lowers. The AR and the Glock. That's it. I don't know of anything else. And Polymer 80 said, in no uncertain terms, they hope to one day have a 45 and a 10 millimeter available. But as of this moment, May the 13th, or April 13th, my fucking brain for it. As of April 13th, 2022, at 2 o'clock, 2:18 Eastern Time in the AM, there is no 45 Polymer 80 available. So there was none available when this shooting took place. So here you have a mother who doesn't like Polymer 80s. Okay, fine. And her daughter was the victim of a school shooting, which is horrible. So she combines the two and says the shooter had a Polymer 80, which he did not. That's no different than when you say the shooter had an AR-15 and he had a shotgun. That's no different than when you say the shooter had an assault rifle and he has a bolt-action rifle, okay? By definition, you are wrong. Now, her daughter was still shot. Her daughter's best friend still died. A couple of other kids were shot. That is horrible. I can't take away, that's true. But it was not done the way they said it was done. Okay, so she's combined her hatred of the Second Amendment, hatred of the Polymer 80, and is using her own daughter as exploitation for that, which is horrible. That's horrible. I don't want you, if that's horrible. Using your own child to exploit your hatred of a certain type of gun. Now, also, her and her daughter are huge supporters of what? Abortion. So, you're going to lecture me that if someone makes this gun, they might use it to kill somebody. But you're also going to demand that the killing of babies remain legal up to the 9th month of pregnancy. Okay? And you're going to tell me how horrible it is that some kid shot your daughter. You're going to tell me that. But you're also going to tell me that you want kids who are even more helpless than your daughter to be ripped apart by limb by limb. Okay? You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me that this gun should be banned at the federal level because someone one day might use it to commit a crime. But it's cool to kill babies. Okay? Pick one. Don't tell me this bullshit. And that's all I got for you guys. Bye.